Dark Souls is a franchise often praised by the masses that play it, for its supposed deep history and lore along with its cryptic NPCs. The difficult controls and the combat encounters that leave the average Joe's facial expression rather demented and a feeling of being wronged. Why is it praised? Why is its developers hailed as some of the most talented in the game industry? The problem with Dark Souls that not many fans are willing to accept, partly to flashy adverts and YouTubers that hype the game up so much. The problem is twofold. Let's be honest. The problem with Elden Ring and Souls-like games, specifically Dark Souls 1, is that it's not just the gameplay, but the graphics and the writing too. Many players blame studios for creative bankruptcy, but it's not possible to be creatively bankrupt technically, because it's a term used in economics and shit like that. But the developers are clearly overworked and uninspired. Many enemies and bosses, zones, many areas of the game lack any vision. They got inspired by the Lord of the Rings movies, decided to make the entire game look like shit, and all the enemies are bad too. For example, the first boss you fight in Dark Souls is a Kaka demon. It's a big fat demon, and I think it's really badly designed encounter. Firstly because the game barely teaches you anything before it lets you fight it, and the bosses in Dark Souls are way too big. You can't really see what's going on and how much HP they have. The character system is rather cryptic too, with over a dozen different stat dump and money to put your souls into. And only a few of these being useful. To prove my point further, in Dark Souls 2, you can put skills and points into a stat that gives you more iframes, invisibility frames. And the game doesn't tell you this at all. Dark Souls 1 also lacks from a general feeling of achieving a goal. The game drops you into a brown slurry of NPCs that have nothing to tell you, and they act like you should care about it. It's hard to care about a game that doesn't give you a goal. Many of the areas in the game are just chasms and sewers that are all the same color, with the enemies being old and covered in what can only be seen as literal shit. The boss called Bed of Chaos has some lore to it, but it's hard to care about that lore. It's a hunk of shit with arms and shit on the ground that tries to kill you. Also, the bosses lack any agency. They live in their area and you have to come to them and kill them for no reason. The most wrong thing about this is the dog boss too. It's a dog that tries to kill you actively, but this time the game tries to make you feel bad, but the dog is big too, twice the size of the player, and more HP too. So the game tries to impose its morality on the player too much, and it's pretty woke. How many characters in general are not like clearly a man or a woman, but it's like a girl and man, and that shit's woke. There's a philosophical idea that there's a bucket of crabs, and the crabs pull each other down when one tries to escape. This is the bucket philosophy problem. Many people in Dark Souls and the Rain community are these crabs. The Dark Souls-like and the Rain-like games lack from any real developer talent. The pure essence of these games are just much random bullshit, and then you're gonna fucking level up and shit, collecting souls or runes or tokens. Why not call it money? You use it to buy stuff at the store. The sellers, what do they use this shit for, man? Dark Souls 2 is a difficult game to talk about, and Dark Souls 1 is even more difficult, because it's so bad. I don't wanna